Hello, thank you for coming to this video. My name is Paul Murphy and this is another of the Lost Lyric videos, which, as it says on the tin, is me reciting from box file 5 still, a whole bunch of lyrics that were mislaid sometime. The lyrics run from 1989 through to 1995. Shortly after that they went AWOL. And here we are on the 31st of May 2023, chronicling them. As ever, I've not looked ahead, and I'm just taking them out. We've gone past handwritten lyrics here. And this was, I'd obviously got my first PC at this point. Well, there's a story, but I'm not going to tell you. Okay, and I should say in advance that what's become apparent from these 1994, 1995 lyrics, these are all 1994 I see here. I was writing some pretty dark material in those times. So if you're not in a frame of mind for listening to material about the darker underside of the soul, please, I've got lots of funny videos and lots of nice music videos, and there's plenty more. And I don't want to bring any clouds onto an Wednesday. I'm a storyteller and a chronicler of what goes on in the world. And sometimes not everything that goes on in the world is particularly pleasant. Oh, sweet genie, brackets, what did you need? Jeannie lies so still. Why did she take all those pills? She should have been a luminary, not a child of light and darkness. Jeannie used to say, who will miss me anyway? We were trying to show her the sunrise, but she clung too close to the night. Oh, sweet Jeannie, why did you leave? You had the world in front of you. Oh, sweet Jeannie, what did you need to take the pain away from you? Oh, sweet Jeannie, please rest in peace. That's the very least the world owes to you. Jeannie never cried, but she kept the pain inside. One day it all had to come out, came flooding like a broken dam. Jeannie, we miss you. Was there nothing we could do? You should live on in more than memories, but you hurt more than we could guess. Oh, sweet Jeannie, why did you leave? You had your life in front of you. Oh, sweet Jeannie, what did you need to take your pain away from you? Oh, sweet Jeannie, please rest in peace. That's the very least the world owes to you. And I wrote that at 13:29 p.m. on the 9th of December 1994 in the post room. Oh, so I was at work. It's got a strange annotation that says last song as well. The next one, maybe I should read ahead on these. The next one is called, oh no. I'm so sorry. Okay, well the next one is called Ballad of Ramesses II, and it's actually a little bit risque, so I'm not going to do that one. I wrote that on the 8th of December 1994 at 14:42 p.m. It's quite funny, but it's a bit risque. It's slipping all over the place. I know what it is. Okay, this is called Baker Street Confidential in Silver. Write me out a quick one, honey, I got other things to do. I'll stand in the sun and keep the shadows off of view. I'm better than the rumours, but much worse than the truth. I'm already younger than you were in your youth. Better get it all down, honey, I'll be leaving this town soon. Meet me at the castle, and we'll make love by the moon. I'd give you all my affection, dear, but I don't have any left. So don't say that you need me, you'll only be wasting your breath. I better break for air in the middle. You write the words, I'll provide the riddle. Something's got a hold of me today. Someone's stealing every word I say. It seems my clothes don't fit me, honey, in your fashion book. Don't come up to see me, you won't know where to look. I've got to get this straight now, some things don't keep too well. Hang on to your smile, though, it's far too good to sell. I better break for air in the middle. You write the words, I'll provide the riddle. Something's got a hold of me today. Someone's stealing every word I say. And that was written at 10:57 a.m. on the 7th of December 1994. Again at the Post Room. It's very nice to be paid to write songs. And believe me, if you knew what that company... I do apologise for... One sees this a lot on talking videos on YouTube because the viewfinder, just distracts from your attention, and everyone is going off and, to the side. I do apologise. I would love to be making eye contact with you. That song there, I never know how to do these videos. Sometimes if I do the backstories to them, it goes 50-50 all the time. So if I do the backstories to them, so I do a song, a lyric, and then if I can remember anything about it, I do the backstory. If it comes off at another tangent, I go somewhere. Then I get 50% of it saying, could you just do the poems? We just want to listen to your voice. And everyone says, oh, we love the backstories. It's nice to get an insight about how you write your songs and how they come to you and everything. And likewise, if I don't do the backstories, then it's the other way round, That looks to me, Baker Street Confidential in Silver. I was in a duo at that time, a duo indeed, called Murphy Young's. I do believe that the reason all these lyrics got lost is, what was happening in the early 80s. I hate to say that. It's a long time ago, But in the early 80s, it would be a case of, because I was playing live, write a song, play it, No means of recording it. We had a little cassette and decks and everything, that we would record them open air, and you'd hear people opening the doors and stuff to the bed sits and the squats that Mum was living in and everything, but no way of having the funds in the dire circumstances that we were living in of, the 4-track demo tape was a dream, mythical kind of thing. And I'm fairly certain that, and so I was playing live and then I stopped. At a certain point I tried to be a nice respectable boy and settle down, thinking I was getting too old for it. What am I now? I'm 61, I'm 62 in a few days' time if I make it. Well, this afternoon I was just had an electric guitar, even though I can barely stand, and cranking out versions of Bob Dylan's All Along the Watchtower and some electric versions of my own songs. And I was thinking I was too old then. What would I have been in 89? 27, 28, somewhere around there. Muddy Waters became the example. Every time I kept thinking, like you said, I'm too old for this, can't do this anymore, an embarrassment out there on stage, all these youngsters coming along. And it never occurred to me at the time, but I could blow all these people off of the stage, And, but that was only when I went back out and did it. And then someone pointed out to me one day that Muddy Waters was still playing concerts in his 60s. Muddy Waters is doing it, and that's good enough for me. There's the template, yeah, okay. But I'd stopped, I'd got a job, and I was in my first ever serious relationship. And then that fell apart, and then I was out playing live again. And then around about 1988, it just seemed a bit vacuous, this material I was doing. You know what you're talking then, you're talking Stock Aitken Waterman and Rick Astley, and I guess no offence to Rick Astley, but you know, everyone's out there buying Never Gonna Give You Up, or whatever it is, in their millions, you know, and I'm there, you know, in a denim jacket singing Candle, Bitter Realities, and so many times before, and she's cried a million tears, you know, songs about domestic abuse and drug abuse and teenage runaways being forced into prostitution and stuff, you know. After the 91 crash, the country got a little bit more morbid, I think, and my stuff sort of came back into vogue then, I guess, you know. But anyway, so that's why these lyrics got lost, because I wasn't playing live, so I was just stockpiling them. And that went on through, really, until 97, when I got a home recording studio in here. And then it would just be a case of write it and record it. And, but I always wrote fresh material, because I always had songs coming. But I was in a duo around 1994 with a guy at this place I worked called Andy Youngs, and we were called Murphy Youngs. He had a brilliant voice. I was just playing guitar and writing songs. And that looks to me, from the chorus out, that looks to me like one of the songs that I would have put forward for Murphy Youngs. I don't like to look ahead, but I'm fingers crossed, not that I believe in any kind of fate at all, that I will come across. There's one lyric of mine, and it's called Welcome to Hell, Sweet Michelle. And I wrote it, and it was Andy's favourite song of mine. When I told him what it was about, I'm not entirely sure it was that much of a favourite. But the lyric went missing about a week after I wrote it, and I've never seen it since. I can remember the opening lines and the title. That's it. Anyway, so, let's carry on here. You've got a lot of backstories here today, yeah? If I made my backstories rhyme, then I could maybe just get away with saying this is another unfinished lyric. Anyway, clean intro. Lights are falling down. As I said before, I'm even being heckled by the furniture now. The last word that she said to me. Did you ever love me? Did you ever feel for me the way I felt for you? Did you ever need me? Did you ever cry at night the way I cried for you? Did you ever miss me? Did you ever stay awake the dusks I wasn't there? Did you ever know me? Did you ever show concern or even try to care? Now it's too late, the chance has been and gone. You took and took, and in the end, you took too long. Don't call me now, because I won't reply. And don't forget the last word you said to me was, why? Did you ever show me? Did you ever show me there was more to you inside? Did you ever want me? Did you ever care that I deserved respect and pride? Did you ever soothe me? Did you ever kiss the tears away from my eyes? Did you ever see me? Did you ever see that it was you that you despised? Now it's too late, the chance has been and gone. You took and took, and in the end, you took too long. Don't call me now, you know I won't reply. And don't forget, the last word you said to me was, why? No, don't you ever once forget the last word you said to me was why. Doesn't say where I wrote that. Well, I wrote it in 1994. That's, I like that. Some of these songs, when I find that I read them now, because I'm not going through them deliberately, and so I'm just, they're fresh to me here. That's a nice piece of work there. That's a good line, isn't it? You took and took, and in the end you took too long. I'm not blowing my own trumpet there. I don't think of me as me, I'm just reading. I'm reading another Paul Murphy's words here, But again, I wish that I'd been out singing that. That looks to me like it's, well, I can tell. And that's another one where I've written it as a woman to a man. So I put myself in a woman's place and wrote a powerful song as a woman. And don't forget the last word you said to me was why. That's a very empowering line, isn't it? The next one I do remember. Well, I don't remember the lyrics, but I remember the title. Oh, sorry, I'm looking in the viewfinder there. Bear with me a second, I do apologise for this. My transitional objects. I'm hoping that at some point my beautiful children will come across these videos and see, when they grow up, and see what Daddy used to do. Dangler there is one of Dylan's favourite cuddly toys. He will know why it's very precious that one still remains. And I should say no more, others I'm going to start writing a very unpleasant song. This one is called When Love Is Killing You, brackets, in memory of Elizabeth Glaser. She paints a smile on, but it's just fool's gold. She has no prayers left. Everyone is sold. She tells herself that everything's fine, but she knows she's living on borrowed time. She needs a cure that nobody can find. What are we supposed to do when love is killing you? He said he loved her, and she believed him, and then he left her with his disease in. A guilty verdict with a sentence of death. What was it he whispered with sweet words on his breath? How does she feel to have no future left? What are we supposed to do when love is killing you? Her friends avoid her. She's all alone now. Nobody visits her sterile home now. She keeps her curtains drawn and never looks out. Each time she shuts her eyes, she does it with doubt. She's cried to heaven till she's no strength to shout. What are we supposed to do when love is killing you? Her time is so short. There's so much undone, slowly decaying, nowhere to run. She had so many plans that she'll never keep, too tired to stay awake and too scared to sleep. She'll be 20 if she lives through the week. What do you think you will do when love starts killing you? And I wrote that at 10:33 a.m. Another one on the 7th of December 1994. Again in the poster. You'll notice from these annotations, so I'll be sitting there writing songs. I remember that one, that's one I do remember. the wonderful Elizabeth Glaser, wife of the Starsky and Hutch actor Paul Glaser. It's all flooding back to me now. She had a blood transfusion, I believe, and it was tainted blood, and this was when AIDS was rampant and there was no cure or anything like that, and people were being ostracised. And I was working with a gutter sniper who used to brag about how he never used condoms. And I can hear the manager now saying to him, I won't mention his name, he was a vermin and probably still is. And I can hear him now, and he said, you need to use something, you'll get AIDS. And first of all he went, I've already had that. He said, I'll make sure I share it if I do. And I thought, nasty. The lady in the song is obviously not Elizabeth Glaser, and I must point out that. But that was the juxtaposition of the two items. You had newspapers. You needed to live through that time to see it. Comedians making jokes about it. Football pundits smirking that we're not allowed to mention the disease, we're not allowed to mention, and everything. Journalists going into pubs saying I've got AIDS just to get themselves thrown out, and really bad times. It was also addressed, I think, by Alan Moore in his V for Vendetta series, in the foreword to it. He says something about, the government's talking about building camps now to put AIDS victims in. And I thought, oh my goodness, and it was all, it's a plague, and it's the Lord's vengeance, and all this kind of stuff. Well, take it from me, I think mankind is the Lord's vengeance. There he is now. That's Marcus Welby, MD. How dare you take our mythical being's name in vain? That has, of course, knocked my train of thought off, but maybe that's no bad thing. And of course, it was very difficult for me to read that because I'm actually dying myself. I'm in the end stage of functional motor neurological disorder. My body is pretty much wasted away to nothing, as you can probably see in the fact. I don't want to do it because there's a lot of makeup on at the moment, and because I hope that one day my children, so when I read a line like, had so many plans that she'll never keep, too tired to stay awake and too scared to sleep, that's my life. That's my every second. Anyway, so that's where that came out. That was my anti-AIDS bigotry song, and the reason it says in memory of Elizabeth Glaser is purely because her story. Because, you had all this, like I said, it was just crazy, and they were calling it, it almost, shush, it's all good. And of course we've got retroviral drugs and everything now and thank goodness for that, but what was coming out was it's the Lord's revenge on gays and everything like that, which seemed to completely ignore the fact that the lesbians would, be almost the safest people on the planet, And so it's the juxtaposition of the two there, so her name's in there because she inspires it. It's nice to come across those lyrics again because it's one that I remember writing. It affected me when I wrote it and it stayed with me. But this one here, Show Me Where It's Quiet, I've got no idea about. I'm going to read it to you in any case. I need to take a bit of a deep breath in after that last one. Clean intro. That was not me. And for my next impression, I should do a Boeing 707. Show me where it's quiet. Yeah. Okay. Show me where it's quiet. Time is running by me like a river in a raging storm. Seeds of doubt bloom in my mind. Take my hand and lead me to a place where I was never born. Show me all I've searched so hard to find. Words have cut me down and left me screaming for a painless death. Dreams are sad, drifting away. Open up my soul and you will see that there is nothing left. Show me where it's quiet and I'll stay. Won't you give me shelter from the rain? Won't you give me comfort from the pain? Won't you show me what I'm looking for? Won't you show me a place where I won't hurt like this anymore? The night is my only friend, and even she has left me now. One more distant memory. Guide me to the other side. I'll get there anyhow. Lend me your eyes so that I can see. The tracks lead to the tunnel from where there is no other side. My destiny lies that way. I've worn out all my faces. Now there's nowhere left to hide. Show me where it's quiet, please, today. Won't you give me shelter from the rain? Won't you give me comfort from the pain? Won't you show me what I'm looking for? Won't you lead me to a place where I won't hurt like this anymore? And that was written at 8:31 a.m. again on the 7th of December 1994. That was a productive day, yeah? But man, I guess that's why they're all bundled together. So, written over a period of a couple of days. How am I doing for time? 27:50. And what's that next? This looks like it's all one song. Goodness me, it is, yeah. This is all one song, and I'm never going to get that done in the 6 minutes I've got left. One last song of loneliness. 6 of the 12 for 90 minutes. Okay, well maybe I will just curtail this one. The files click over after 30 minutes. I've got Tom and Jerry cartoon here. And rare for me, what's next is Sad as a Storm. I guess that's the original. Well, the page is numbered on the back, so that's the original Sad as a Storm, which is one of mine that did go forward. It was a Shaggy Dog story that I used to do in concert. And I've got a bunch here called Unfinished Songs. So maybe I'll put some of these in rather than just, man, do you see me involuntarily shiver there? Someone's walking across my grave, which is bad news for them because I'm going to be buried at sea. Unfinished songs. So I need titles for them. Goodness me. I'm going to call this Like the Light That Won't Shine. Like the call of the wild, like the cry of the child, I hear you. Like the hand in the dark, like the shape in the park, I fear you. Like the voice from above, like the soft touch of love, I need you. Like the words of the wise, like the path to your eyes, I heed you. Like the sign on the door, like the craving to score, I know you. Like the light that won't shine, like the swift hand of time, I show you. Like the pain of the wound, like the wrench from the wound, I feel you. Like the thief on the cross, like the snow and the frost, I deal you. Like the day of the dead, like the thoughts in my head, okay, well this is very interesting. This is strange to me seeing things like this because if you've been following my videos over the last 2 years, with all the songs I've written in the last 2 years, you'll know that, and this is how it's been for 20 years, 30 years, the songs come to me all in one go. So I've not had an unfinished song in 20 years. But here, I'm going to cover these up because I don't want to show you where I used to work because of vile company. But they're quite interesting how I did these. You can see where I've left spaces for them to go in. I do know that a lot of time that's happened because I had 2 lines and so I've left it blank, you know, while I worked out which one would go in there. Or the music was coming to me and so I skipped ahead with the words so I could see the syllable breaks. Okay, we'll get one more done. Okay, I'm going to call this Stage Fright. with all due respect to the band. The women weep in Spanish. It don't matter how rich the dead can be. She saw the winters vanish. I was dragging my coffin behind me. The soldiers take it in turns to be brave. You keep saying that nothing's fair, that no one ever gives you a chance. I could take you to the right places, baby, if you just learn how to dance. That's a strange one. The verses are good. The refrain or the chorus there, not so. I hate to finish on that on that one, but we're all out of time there. I've been Paul Murphy, and you've been extremely kind and generous for your time, and I'm really grateful to you. Please tune in for more. I love your company.